The seventh squad dragged his body with burn marks and bleeding burnt blood, and launched an attack on the monsters surrounding Lefiya. Aiming only at the girl, the monsters with exposed backs received a perfect sneak attack. Why are you so self-assertive? Why are you so arbitrary? Since you taught me a lesson before, don't try to become dead. Luke let out a roar. You didn't teach us that adventurers should help each other. You also said that a dungeon can never be defeated by one person. Milia, who caught the arrow, and Cole, who stabbed the monster, desperately said. Senior. Don't go alone. Don't leave us. I don't want to be an irrelevant person. Let's fight together. Nano, who had lost her mental power, was walking in a wobbly manner, but she still ran here, bringing screams with a tearful voice. What Nano and the others said were also Lefiya's words. As teacher, after thinking, Lefiya faced each other, and Lefiya came up with her own teachings. All these sincere teachings that were passed on to the students returned to present-day Lefiya. The words that became a mirror ricocheted and reached her, who was in a daze. Listen to me, senpai. I've always wanted to help others. But that's just an arrogant sense of mission. You must just be getting carried away. Luke shook his gray hair and attacked Goliath alone. Only he attracted the attention of the roaring giant. The hand holding the sword couldn't help but tremble due to the strong coercion, but he still turned his thoughts into screams, and bravely charged towards Lefiya. But now, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to adventurers, and I'm looking forward to you too. Lefiya's hands were shaking. Her heart beat a sound. So, I don't just want to be protected. What was reflected was the Lefiya of the past. A weak, innocent girl who loves to cry, but who has been chasing her dreams. The origin of Lefiya Virides, who suffered setbacks and fell countless times, but still did not give up on her longing. Senior, what are you looking at? Who are you looking at? Nano shook her golden red hair, which was dyed dirty, and walked along the path cleared by Milia and Cole. With unsteady steps, panting, the monster's roar flew around, but she only looked at Lefiya. I'm so scared. Lefiya Senpai is clearly Lefiya Senpai, but occasionally she will become someone else. It seems like Lefiya Senpai will go to other places, which makes me terribly scared. She came in front of Lefiya, who was stunned and unable to move. He shouted at her. Don't look at what's not here. Look at us, senior. What was reflected was not even the old me, but Filvis, who widened his eyes in a daze. Chasing illusions, wrapped in a girl's skin, wearing a girl's mask, a fake white elf. The scene reflected in the mirror made Lefiya aware of everything. The tempered and pure mirror places the truth before the current Lefiya. Lefiya is Lefiya. Arisa shouted. Even though it is a revelation from the gods, she still claims it, denying it for the sake of her friends, calling for her friends' slavery. Being kinder than anyone else, she will cry and be hurt by others. No matter how good she becomes, that child is still very clumsy and direct. So she will never be able to become someone else. Drops of water spread across the corners of her eyes, thinking about her friends, shining. That's right. Before her bowing, Baldra showed a sad smile, stating. He thought of a student who was still confused and then raised his head confidently. His thoughts flew away. She can't be anyone other than Lefiya. Even so, no matter how much she doesn't want to be herself, Lefiya still can't be Filvis Sheriel. The same answer made him go away with the wind. Together with Loki, he looked at the dungeon where the girl was. Lefiya today should be able to achieve result. However, this kind of thing is just self-satisfaction. Sooner or later, it will lead to conflicts and self-destruction. The answer is evident. The difference between her and A's. However, she didn't want to be somebody. Just blindly seeking strength for her own purpose. Unlike Alice, pursuing the illusion of others is about to destroy oneself. Yes. At this moment, there must be a contradiction in Lefiya's heart. In front of the mirror of the teachable, I was forced to see the stubborn things that I couldn't resolve before. Loki sent Lefiya to the school district, which is why Baldur handed over the 7th squad to Lefiya. That's hoping this girl who confronts students directly and tries so hard to be right can realize the contradictions she has. I hope she will gradually feel what is right, and then she will know more and more clearly. The so-called teacher is a creature who guides students and learns from them at the same time. Lefiya cannot be a teacher who moves forward with mistakes, but she must become a teacher who understands what is right. Attention, Lefiya! Arisa shouted through the window. Remember, Lefiya! Reveria shouted, looking at the maze. Bring it back, Lefiya! Baldur declared with his eyes still closed. Well, it's still close, Lefiya. Loki told her as he opened his eyes after changing the direction of the wind. You are not someone else, but Lefiya Verides. In different places and from different perspectives, the 4 voices overlapped, and at this moment, everyone wandered through the maze and Lefiya heard the sound of a heartbeat. Please, Senpai. Please, Senpai. Luke rushed to Goliath's arm, was thrown away by the opponent, and his back hit the ground, but he still stood up with the long sword inserted into his body from the ground. In front of Lefiya, Nano threw away her staff, grabbed her injured shoulder with both hands and shed tears. The two said at the same time, "Let us protect you." The mirror made a noise and broke into pieces. The ancient Lefiya and the false Filvis disappeared, and the truth, called contradiction, was placed in front of Lefiya. At this moment, the student's sincere thoughts came powerfully. The sky-blue eyes began to tremble. The determination and conscience that were stubbornly linked together gradually fell apart. With a bang, a warm light shot out from his hand. The magic circle attached to the left hand, fairy ring, is waiting. What do you want to choose? I. With a blank mind, these lips left the final choice to themselves. Countless thoughts flashed through the inside of the scarred body at this moment. Cerberus passed through Milia and Cole's attack and rushed towards Lefiya, who stood still. Lefiya pushed Nano away, then turned and slashed at the monster's body. There is no time. Monsters and dungeons don't wait for Lefiya's irritation to give an answer. Then Lefiya read her final choice in despair. Surrounded by terrifying monsters, under the gaze of students with distorted faces, she focused on herself, collecting fragments of her chosen song in a tiny voice. Then, she screamed. "Assemble, breath of the earth. My name is Alf." She shouted the answer she chose. Tool breath. The emerald light turned on. What it unleashes is not the thunder that burns the stars nor the shield that shatters the enemy's attack. Instead, it is the magic of the teacher that guides Lefiya, the protective magic that turns into light and surrounds the companions. The green light protection joined the surprised Nano, Luke, Milia and Cole. Heal bodily wounds, resist physical and magical attacks. The 7th squad stared blankly at the adventurer who had activated the magic. In the compressed time, Lefiya told them, "Please protect me." Her lips spoke her choice to the wide-eyed students. "I'm a wizard." "You protect me? No, I'll save you if you say you'll protect me," she heard the words. Listen to this answer. Nano and the others started crying, frowned and laughed at the same time. Understood. 4 voices came out at the same time, and the 7th team cheered up. They filled their bodies beyond limits with overflowing emotions, picked up the fallen weapons, held them tightly, and contributed their strength to the protection of the light that guarded their bodies. At this moment, their hearts became one. Square and circle formation. 3 dots, no, please wait a minute. In the center of the monster sea, Lefiya issued an order. The battle on the 24th floor flashed through her mind. In that desperate defensive battle surrounded by countless piranhas, Lefiya's request was for 3 minutes. But today is different. She was filled with heroic determination and vowed to distance herself from the city's strongest mage, Riveria.